Hey you guys, welcome back to my latest tutorial. Now this tutorial is aimed at my community at Patreon. This highlighted higher $10 a month. It's for members who truly want to get deep into prompting with Midjourney and learn some amazing stuff that we're going to be covering. So I'm sort of like planning to create like a structured tutorials and workshops on how I'm using modifiers and math algorithms in my work, and showing you how those influence our images and our artworks to help us find that tipping point. So guys, if you haven't yet subscribed, here are my subscribe options, and you need to subscribe to this package. And these workshops will be quite regular, at least once a week, but if I can, I will do many more than that. Okay, guys, so this is a live version. So, guys, bear with me if I sort of like make any mistakes. I mean, I've not done this before, so it's quite scary, but I'm hoping it's also going to be fun. Okay, guys, so in this first tutorial, I would like to call it Introduction to Math Algorithms in Our Prompts. And what do math algorithms mean in Midjourney, in art? So mathematical algorithms are complex calculations that generate intricate pattern. And here are some of the math algorithms that we will be using throughout our courses. Fractal is probably my favorite. Then we've got diffusion algorithm. Then we've got genetic. Then we've got wavelet, which we're going to be using today. And then we have simulated annealing. But guys, there's so many of them. Even the fractal category has so many different variations. So it's really worth exploring. And then in the future, we will sort of have a look at how to blend those algorithms with weights. But today we're going to be keeping it very simple because it's introduction. Okay, guys, so let's go over to my Midjourney. We are in my Discord, and as I mentioned, we're going to be looking at some simple clip art today so that you see how those algorithms affect the image. Yeah. And I think I'm going to be using some weights, but very simple weighting procedures. So yeah, I'll explain everything as we go along. Guys, so this first image, as you can see, it's a little bit dreary. Well, it should be because obviously it is an abandoned church. In this one, I've been using, so the prompt is abundant rustic church watercolor clip art, very detailed, eerie, Krauss, dark fantasy, and I've got luminosity homogeneous dispersion. Now, guys, I don't really use this. I saw it somewhere, but it doesn't make any sense to me. So we're going to be looking at wavelet transform. So let's go to my second one. So here, these are my first images created with wavelet transform. And let's see what we've used. So same prompt, abandoned rustic church, watercolor clip art, very detailed, eerie, Krauss, dark fantasy. And I have used wavelet transform 50. So I gave importance to my math algorithm starting at 50. Of course, this is just the beginning of my process and learning and getting to that tipping point where I am absolutely 100% happy with my images. Okay. Next, okay, so this is again the homogeneous. I mean, I don't really know what this does. I mean, ChatGPT cannot tell me what that is, but yeah, I don't know. Well, it's definitely very eerie and dark. So let's go back to wavelet transform. Look at these images now. I've got quite a lovely water here in my images now. Let's see what changed. And they are getting very beautiful as well, aren't they? Like really beautiful artworks. So abandoned rustic church, watercolor clip art, very detailed, and I put my wavelet transform to 75, but I also changed the stylized value to 300. Now, guys, stylize affect the way our image, basically stylize beautifies the image, but it also sort of gives Midjourney more sort of power to change the visual. So we've got, so it's a little bit prettier, of course, than the other ones. So this is what I've been testing. still looking for my tipping point. Okay, so these are our images in detail. Look at them, how gorgeous, right? And as we saw, wavelet transform was 75 with these. Yeah, you can see it here. Okay, let's do next. What did we do next? Okay, so this is again the luminosity. Okay, so when we put luminosity homogeneous dispersion, even though we don't know what that is, I mean, what do you think, guys? Do you see any differences with this one? But I don't know. I was just testing it. The next one we have here, I put my wavelet transform to 100. So I'm increasing the importance on this math algorithm. I mean, as we saw, the really the description of wavelet transform was that it's supposed to, like add like wave texture, but it doesn't. I mean, I've tried this with so many digital artworks, especially watercolors and paintings, and it doesn't, but it does give it beautiful effect. I don't know what it is, but it just gives that really stunning effect. Again, I've got my waters here, and just really love the images. I love what it does. And the stylized button is again 300. Now let's see what I did next. Am I still looking for tipping points? So I've gone back to 75 and 300. Let's see why. So possibly now I found my tipping point. Yeah. Okay. Again, I've got four beautiful images with some water in it. And I'm really happy these are really usable artworks. And guys, then I sort of, in my next experiment, I did Wavelet Transform 75, but I actually increased the stylized value to 450. Let's see what that did. And did I find my tipping point with this? Oh my god, it's absolutely stunning. Midjourney still keeps to the original prompt, sort of like it is an abandoned church. It's very eerie. There are crowds. It's not too beautiful. So the wavelet transform 75 and 450. And guys, that's my tipping point, I believe. This is what I'm happy with. And guys, that's the whole point. So what we're doing with this is we are increasing the weight on that math algorithm. I also like to play with stylized value, but I don't really use any other weirdness or cows in these because I think it's just it's perfect as it is. But guys, so this is my tipping point. My tipping point is abandoned rustic church, watercolor clip art, very detailed, eerie Kraus, dark fantasy, waiver transform, and 450 and 100. Okay, what did I do next? Let's have a look. So this is something that I sort of in this experiment I lowered the stylize to 50. So I really removed a lot of power from Midjourney to beautify my images so they are a little bit darker and eerier. What did I do next? Okay, so next I have 75 and 450. Again, just gorgeous. I really love them. Oh, look at these, right? So it's sort of a little bit hard, isn't it? Like to find that tipping point. I think my tipping point was between 75 and 100. Where was it before? This one, yeah. So 100, but I also loved 75 and 450. So the stylized, I sort of like increased to 450. I mean, they're all very beautiful. Like it's tough, isn't it? Too. Oh, look at this one, really gorgeous. And guys, you know what? Like tipping point is different for everyone. What I like, you may not like. So you just have to keep trying until you go, yes, this is what I want. Okay, guys, so here I have again 75 value, weight value, and then 450. Well, let's see again, just so beautiful. I actually think this is my tipping point. I actually really love these. Yeah, and here I upscale them for this study. And here we have 75 again, 450. Just gorgeous. Okay, guys, so I think my tipping point with this experiment was wavelet transform 75, so not 100 but 75, and I've gone with stylized 450. But again, try this prompt and see where your tipping point is. So again, abandoned rustic church, watercolor clip art, very detailed, eerie, Krauss, dark fantasy, and wavelet transform. Start at 25 and see, carefully study the images that you create. and see, like how they change and where your tipping point lies. I mean, here we can see some signs of wavelet transform. I mean, this is quite wavy. So, but yeah, I think you guys can clearly see what these math algorithms do to the image. They really make it so crystal clear and detailed, and these are just the clip art animations. So guys, I think for this part of tutorial, it's enough. I want to start slow. So again, just to summarize what we did here, we took a clip art, sort of like a Halloween themed clip art, and we were applying wavelet transform to it, which is a math algorithm. We started at 25. We were slowly increasing the weight of wavelet transform and watching how it affected our image. And we were also playing with stylized function. So my stylized function in setting is actually set at medium. I'll just quickly show you. And I'm just going to jump to present. Okay, so didn't do it. Let's just try again. So this is where I am. So I'm sort of like always going for stylized medium, which means that I am on 250. So if I want to go lower than that or higher than that, then I need to, like specify S and then the number. Okay, guys, so I hope you had fun. Let me know how you got on with this. Now, this is going to be a really exciting series, so I'm really happy to have you on board. And if you are not on board yet, because this video will eventually be on my YouTube account as well, if you're not on board yet, please sign in, because I'll be going through step-by-step process on how I literally modify and math algorithm my prompts and share with you my beautiful artworks. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you at the next tutorial. Thank you.